Why do Catholics care so much about Mary that they give her a bunch of different names? We're going to talk about that today on Made for Glory. Mary is the mother of Jesus, and throughout the history of the church, she has received a lot of different titles of what people call her in prayer and devotion. One of the most important titles that she has is the mother of Jesus. And of course, she's called that in Scripture. She's also called the mother of my Lord by Elizabeth in sacred Scripture. One of the other titles that comes to us from the early church is Mary is the Theotokos. And that title is really, really important. And we're going to focus in on that because all the other titles of Mary revolve around this reality about not who Mary is, but who Jesus is. And none is more insightful than that of the Theotokos. So in the early church, there was a controversy from a monk named Nestorius. Nestorius said that Jesus is not 100% God and 100% man, that Nestorius would say that Jesus is God who at times would kind of function as a man. So he sort of dips in and out of this humanity. Humanity was kind of like a pair of pants that he would try on. And so he would say that it's not God suffering and dying on the cross, it's Christ suffering and dying on the cross. So, or that he is that he can kind of be split in different ways. And so when you talk about titles for Mary, when you talk about Mary, the common title for Mary then was the Theotokos, that Mary is the mother of God, the God bearer. And Nestorius would say like, no, she's the Christotokos. She's the Christ bearer. Because, she doesn't give birth to his divinity, but just to his humanity. So that split was what the church had to come together and say like, okay, how do we use this title for Mary because it means something about Jesus? And the church definitively declared that Orthodox Christian belief says Mary is the Theotokos because the one born of Mary can truly said to be God. He is God. And you can't split the humanity and divinity of Jesus. And that's so important for us because a lot of times modern day Christians will say that. They'll say, oh no, she's not the mother of God. She's the mother of Jesus, mother of Jesus' humanity. But once you've made that split, in a sense, you have made the incarnation, it's now a moot point. Now it has no power over us. Because if we could say that Jesus, it's just the human nature of Jesus that's born of Mary, then in a sense, it doesn't matter that Jesus lived and suffered and worked and died on the cross because the Romans killed tons of people. And if it's just another guy getting killed, then it doesn't really matter. But if the one who dies on the cross can truly said to be God, then it is God who has experienced that reality and it is God who has been raised up. So when we say that Mary is the Theotokos and all the other titles of Mary, whether it's her Immaculate Conception, Mary is the House of Gold, Mary as the Ark of the New Covenant, Mary is the New Eve, it's all about what we believe about Jesus. All those titles point to this rich biblical tradition that all of our stuff comes from the Bible. Every teaching about Mary is biblically rooted. And a lot of his typology from the Old Testament that points to and is fulfilled in the New Testament. All that is sharing something about who Jesus is. And because Mary is one chosen to be that living, breathing Ark of the Covenant, Mary is the one who is that daughter of Zion who hears the voice of God and responds. Mary is the one who is the new Eve, who unlike the old Eve turned away from God's plan. This new Eve listens to God's plan and says yes to it. And because of that, Adam is allowed to do his work of salvation. Mary is the mother of Jesus, who is God. Mary is the Theotokos, the mother of God. And because of that, because God has truly become one of us in the womb of Mary, his mother, we are saved. So we rejoice and we call out to Mary. We say to her, Hail Theotokos, hail Mother of God, because you are the one who has said yes to God. Yes, your yes has undone the knot of Eve's disobedience, and we are called to emulate that same yes in our own lives, to receive Jesus into our lives just as Mary did, and because of that, we are saved. Whatever the original intent for social media was, it probably wasn't this.
Well, I'm sure you've seen this viral video.
And to the B.
Gaming Weekday Stream.
This egg is the most liked Instagram picture.
Hi. Impressive carrying skills, right?
Okay, so tell me all about this. Wow.
Yikes. See what I mean? However, at St. Dominic Media, we found a much better way to do social.
It is a joy, a pleasure to want to spend time with the Lord and with one another.
If you delight in the Lord, He would give you the desires of your heart. And so I prayed Him to send me to the right church. And so He led me to the one that He established, which is the Catholic Church.
So I'm sitting in my quiet space, my time with God, praying for my grandchildren.
Understand that the devil isn't only the enemy of our souls, he's the enemy of our human nature. And so what God has joined, he wants to rupture.
Judeo-Christian values.
You corrected it. It's Judeo-Christian values. Your brain corrected it. Oh, that's fantastic. Every year, we produce hundreds of dynamic, faithful Catholic videos that reach millions of people, both online and on television. At St. Dominic Media, we're doing the heavy lifting of creating good, quality Catholic content, and we'd love for you to partner with us, either by visiting stdominicmedia.com and following the share link, or by using the offertory envelopes offered by your parish from OSV. Help us sow seeds far and wide as we use new media's potential for good. Together, let us invest in and grow the kingdom.